Hello, my name is Jo Cutler. I created a book series focusing on a shanny named Danny. He is the main character in the storybooks Hide and Seek and Dr. Dogfish. I created Danny the Shanny in order to promote and raise money for Bude Marine Group, a marine group based in Bude that aims to increase the knowledge of marine wildlife for locals, in the hope that, once they are armed with that knowledge, they will ensure its protection. My first Danny the Shanny book, Hide and Seek, was inspired by rock pooling sessions I had done with Bude Marine Group. It struck me that rock pooling is essentially a wonderful game of hide and seek. If you wait long enough next to a rock pool, the creatures will tire of hiding like children would, and you will almost certainly see something poking out from underneath a rock or darting across the pool. All marine wildlife has its own charm, but shannies and blennies in particular are funny, sweet and characterful. With their cheeky grins and cartoon-style eyes, I thought they would be the perfect candidate as the main character for a children's book. And so it began. I started going to the beach and playing hide and seek with the animals I found there as often as I could. I liked to hold the animals too if they'd let me, so I could see their incredible adaptations up close. I discovered all kinds of things. At first the usual suspects that rock poolers see: beadlet anemones, shore crabs, velvet swimmers, mussels, barnacles, and so on. But then things started to get more interesting. I found things like pipefish, fast-moving chitons, sea urchins. I even found an octopus in a rock pool, though he seemed less than pleased with me videoing him. After taking a UV torch to the beach and seeing some creatures glow in the dark by cupping my hands around them and shining my UV torchlight on them, I began to wonder why most of the television shows focused on the colourful array of marine wildlife found in foreign waters. The Atlantic Ocean is often steely grey and uninviting, seemingly lifeless, yet this is a deception. It harbours a vast array of strange and intriguing wildlife. As I photographed these crazy critters, the story seemed to tell itself. As you become acquainted with rock pool creatures, you start to notice certain characteristics that each species has. Montagu's crabs, for example, tend to raise their claws in the air and scuttle about to try and look threatening. Hence, the character Monty Crab is full of bravado. In opposition to this, brittle stars, as per their name, seem to have a fragile, frightened air about them. If you lift up a rock with them on, they will scuttle and slither away into the shadier areas. The character Barry Brittle is a frightened soul that reflects these characteristics. But it wasn't all plain sailing. The original title of the book was going to be Tommy Tompot, but tompots are generally in deeper water rather than in the accessible rock pools, and after many unsuccessful tompot trips, shanny seemed like the more effective choice. I also wanted to create a character called Wimpy Shrimpy because shrimps have this amusing habit of darting backwards suddenly when frightened. However, that same habit makes them extraordinarily difficult to photograph. This lovely brown shrimp was an exception, as he was very placid. Next came the editing. I used Photoshop for this. Firstly, I would open up a lovely picture of a shanny fish that I had taken earlier. Then I would use the lasso tool to circle the shanny and copy and paste him onto another layer. I then began the painstaking task of trimming the shanny out of his background fully. The reason I cut the shanny out from a real photo rather than using drawings is because it was important to me that I didn't change the looks of the creatures too much. I wanted them to be recognisable as the species they were when I photographed them. This is because the species themselves have naturally sweet and cartoon-like looks about them. Towards the end, I changed from the lasso tool to the rubber tool to smooth over the edges. And there you have it, the cut-out image of Danny the Shanny, ready to be edited and placed on a book page. As you can see, I've repeated this process on a variety of creatures. I will now read an excerpt from my children's book, Danny the Shanny, Hide and Seek. Danny the Shanny finished counting. 72, 33, 99, 100. The Rockpool friends were playing hide and seek. Danny's big googly eyes glanced left and right in his underwater world. From the corner of his eye he glimpsed the black tip of a sharp pincer. Like lightning, Danny swam towards the rock Monty Crab was hiding behind. "Found you," he said happily. Monty Crab snapped his claws menacingly at him, unhappy to be found so quickly. "Come on," said Danny, "we've got to find the others." Monty Crab reluctantly scuttled sideways along the sandy floor of the pool, trying to keep up with Danny's swishy tail. The rock pool that Danny and friends shared had many nooks and cracks, wicked hidey holes for little squishy, slimy creatures. Pretending not to notice a small red blob on the rocks under the green seaweed, he sneaked up. I found you, he shouted at it in glee. As time went on, I also realised that I had never seen a marine wildlife identification guide for children, and so I created one of these too. It starts by saying, "Hi guys, I'm Danny, a shanny fish who has lost all of his friends. I want to find them all so we can have a party. Will you help me find them, along with some party decorations and food?" It teaches children about a variety of common organisms found on UK beaches, such as sea lettuce, in a fun way. For example, by pretending that finding the sea lettuce will help Danny as he can put it in his salad. Each page is full of colourful, high-quality images so children can simply flick through the book to see what they have found. Next to each creature is a little cushion star with points written on it because the book is designed as a game so that whoever finds the most creatures gets the most points and wins the game. There is a section in the identification guide about rubbish. You receive 100 points for collecting rubbish. I placed this in the book because, as everyone knows, marine litter is a huge issue facing marine wildlife. I didn't want to preach about litter outright to the children reading the book. I want them to engage with the rockpool creatures and feel a sense of companionship to characters like Danny, and through that take ownership for the impact they have on marine life. I have seen and helped to collect a frightening amount of litter from beaches around the southwest. But the great news is that beach cleaning is spreading like wildfire, and the more people who are involved, the better. If you head to Facebook and type Danny the Shanny in the search bar, the first thing that comes up is Danny the Shanny's official Facebook page. From this page you can purchase the printed copy of Danny the Shanny Hide and Seek using PayPal. Scrolling down, you can also access my official author page on Amazon to see Danny the Shanny Hide and Seek and Danny the Shanny Dr. Dogfish ebooks. By scrolling down and clicking on these links, Amazon will let you have a sneak peek of the ebook. Or in Amazon itself, you can search the titles of the books. A percentage of profits will be donated to Bude Marine Group. If you'd like to check out Bude Marine Group's website, simply search Bude Marine Group in your internet browser and go to their Weebly site.